Hello, each and everyone. We would like to discuss to you the definition and importance of the following.
Discovery of atom, thermodynamics, petroleum, Newton's law of motion, and electricity. Atoms are the basic units of matter and the defining structure of earth. The term atom comes from the Greek word for invisible, because it once thought that atoms were the smallest things in the universe and could not be divided. We know that atoms are made up of three particles: protons, neutrons, and electrons, which are composed of even smaller particles such as quarks. Atoms were created after the Big Bang 1.37 billion years ago. As the hot, dense new universe cooled, conditions became suitable for quarks and electrons to form. Quarks came together to form protons and neutrons, and these particles combined into nuclei. This all took place within the first few months of the universe's existence. The importance of atoms. In the most simple terms, without atoms, there would not be functioning world. Atoms make up matter, and matter makes up everything in the world, with a few exceptions. Here are some examples of how atoms affect the world: oxygen atoms, carbon dioxide atoms, hydrogen atoms and oxygen atoms, lead atoms, and last but not the least, copper atoms, aluminum atoms, and nickel atoms.
Thermodynamics. Thermodynamics is as old as the universe itself, and the universe is simply the largest known thermodynamic system. Mainly, it is all about energy, how energy gets used and how it changes from one form to another. With thermodynamics, you can find out how efficient things are using energy for useful purposes, such as generating electricity, moving an airplane, or even riding a bicycle. The word thermodynamics has a Greek heritage. The first part, thermo, conveys the idea that heat is somehow involved, and the second part, dynamics, makes you think of things that move. Application of second law of thermodynamics in daily life. Number 1, jet engines. Number 2, spark ignition engines. 3, fossil fueled steam power plants. 4, all the refrigerators. And 5, deep freezers.
Petroleum, also called crude oil, is a thick, flammable, yellow to black colored liquid. Petroleum was first found oozing out of rocks on Earth's surface. Hence, its name comes from the Latin words petra, meaning rock, and oleum, meaning oil. Petroleum is a hydrocarbon, an organic compound containing only carbon and hydrogen. It is a mixture of other carbon compounds such as natural gas, gasoline, kerosene, asphalt, and probably most important, fuel oil. Petroleum is a naturally occurring liquid found beneath the Earth's surface that can be refined into fuel. Petroleum is a fossil fuel, meaning that it has been created by the decomposition of organic matter over millions of years. It is formed in sedimentary rock under intense heat and pressure. Petroleum is used as fuel to power vehicles, heating units, and machines of all sorts, as well as being converted into plastics and other materials. Because of world's reliance on petroleum, the petroleum industry is extremely powerful and it is a major influence on the world's politics and the global economy. Currently, petroleum is most important natural resources. The importance of oil. We use gasoline, jet fuel, and diesel fuel to run cars, trucks, aircraft, ships, and other vehicles. Some heat sources include oil, natural gas, and electricity, which in many areas is generated by burning natural gas. Petroleum and petroleum-based chemicals are important in manufacturing plastic, wax, fertilizers, lubricants, and many other goods. Different types of petroleum can be used in different ways. Refineries separate different petroleum products by heating petroleum to the point where heavy hydrocarbons molecules separate from lighter hydrocarbons. As a result, each product can be isolated and used for a specific purpose without waste. Thus, asphalt, the dense, nearly solid hydrocarbons, can be used for road, surface, and roofing materials. Waxy substances called paraffins can be used to make candles and other similar products. And less dense, liquid hydrocarbons can be used for engineering or engine fuels.
Newton's law are very important because they tie into almost everything we see in everyday life. These laws tell us exactly how things move or sit still, like why you don't float out of bed or fall through the floor of your house. Newton's law control how cars work, how water flows, how buildings don't fall down, and basically how everything around us moves. It isn't always obvious how important these laws are because to use them in complicated situations like getting ready for school, you need to know a lot of things like the exact shape of our tube of toothpaste, how you squeeze on it, and what the toothpaste is made of. Newton's law speaks very generally all forces, but to use them for any specific problem, you have to actually know all the forces involved like gravity, friction, and tension.
Electricity. Electricity is the set of physical phenomena associated with the presence and motion of matter that has a property of electric charge. In early days, electricity was considered as being unrelated to magnetism. Importance of electricity. Electricity use has dramatically changed daily life. Like air and water, people tend to take electricity for granted. However, people use electricity to do many jobs every day, from lighting, heating, and cooling homes to powering televisions and computer.